What is the best money line on the board as we have opening faceoff coming at you? AJ.
Well, I think you have to look at Edmonton over the Golden Knights here at plus 120. Yes, the Oilers are entering game 2 of a back-to-back, and they're going to be taking the unusual step of starting Mikko Koskinen 2 days in a row. They've got a bunch of time off after this. Mike Smith is hurt, so it all makes sense why they're doing that. But they have just such a talented group up front, and everything else on the money line here, like I don't love. Are you really want to give up like minus 235 juice to take the Leafs? Like that's just not worth it in the rare off chance that San Jose would pull something out of nowhere. But the Knights are allowing an astronomically high 38.7 shots per game right now. Still no Stone, no Pacioretty. I think Edmonton is the way to go in terms of the money line tonight.
Paul, what are you going to do here? Money line, best one on the board.
I like the call that AJ made on the Oilers game, so I'll pivot to the other one that I like in the late part of the schedule. I look at the Kings visit the Dallas tonight at plus 130. Their longtime leaders have burst out of the gate. Kopitar has 8 points. Doughty has 7 in the first 3 games, and they have some more depth at all positions after retooling their roster in the offseason, filling some holes. I'm very high also on their young goalie. Cal Peterson will likely get the start tonight and may actually play more than their mainstay Jonathan Quick this season. At the other end, I'm a little unsure of the Dallas squad. Scoring issues continue to plague this team, just as they have in their last couple of seasons, even though they have guys like Sagan and Radulov back and are at full strength this season. They've only scored 8 goals in 4 games so far. So I take the visitors to win big in Big D tonight.
Paul, what about a total? Which one is the best to target?
You know what? I think the total of 6 goals for the Sharks and Leafs is low tonight. On the one hand, Toronto has yet to score more than 3 goals despite a full roster. With 3 days off prior to this game, they had some good practice time, and I think they should be ready for this game and overdue for a breakout effort. Meanwhile, the surprising Sharks have scored 11 goals over their 3 straight wins and will face Toronto's third-string goalie, Mike Hutchinson, tonight. There will be a lot of action in the red light district in this one. Take the over big time. I also like the 5.5 line in favor of the over, again, as Boston visits Buffalo this evening. Look, I know the Sabres have scored 12 goals over their 3 wins to date, but I regard their goalie tandem as perhaps the worst in the league, and I expect the Bruins to expose Dustin Tokarski, a career AHLer, a bit tonight. It should be a points night for the Bees. In fact, in their top line, I think they're a must-play in DFS, and I say the Sabres score a few too, so this line should fall easily this evening.
AJ, I say best total to target. You say?
Well, first I say Paul clearly missed out going to rotowire.com before doing this segment. Otherwise, he'd know that Craig Anderson is going to get the start tonight instead of Dustin Tokarski, which I do think changes things a little bit. But overall, I still think Boston is in line to win that one. Having said that, I'll stick with Edmonton versus Vegas in terms of the total tonight. It's sitting at 6 to go over at minus 120. It's a decent spot. Plus, you get to hedge a little bit in case of the push. If you don't mind taking on that added risk, you can get plus 105 to go over 6.5. I talked about all the reasons that, the offense is rolling. We've got 2 big guns there in Edmonton, and then the Knights are lacking their star power right now. So I think there's a good opportunity for a big blowout, but I wouldn't expect a shutout from either netminder here. Again, Koskinen playing on the second night of a back-to-back. So goals aplenty in that one.
Guys, let's pop over to DFS here, and we've talked about the Oilers already. They are in action, and we have to ask you, are you going to pay up for Connor McDavid, or are you going to fade the Star Center's high salary, AJ?
Well, look, I mean, that shot total I mentioned or shots allowed total for the Knights is just too good to pass up here in terms of DFS. I think you have to seriously consider taking McDavid here. I know Paul's going to give you all the reasons to go with Matthews instead here, and I don't think that's a bad play. But we're talking about fading a guy who already has 6 goals and 11 points in 4 games, with over half of those coming on the power play. You go back to last season, 48 points in his last 20 regular season games, and he's doing even better this year, almost averaging 3 points per game right now. I just don't see how you get away from using McDavid in this one.
Paul, you going to pay up? I know you want to. Come on, 9,200.
Absolutely. I'm in for the big payoff.
Yeah.
look at the guy has on a mission this year with 11 points in 4 games so far. I don't know how you keep him out of your lineup, although I did last night and still wound up cashing in my DFS, helping to put AJ's kids through school. I don't know why he's being so mean to me. I will be including him this evening against the banged up Vegas lineup. It'll be showtime for that $9,200 price tag. If you want to save money, though, I think there are many good alternatives in the high rent district of the DFS board as well. So I would certainly consider Matthews. The guy had 16 shot attempts in his first game played. You get that for $8,500 tonight. I think you could see a repeat. I also like Anze Kopitar for $7,900. He's on fire, as I said, for the LA Kings. And Patrice Bergeron comes in at a discount for only $6,500 on what could be a point tonight for the Bruins.
All right, so if you're going to be paying up, you're going to be spending some cash, Paul, which I loved your style there. You and my wife would get along perfectly. Where could you find the best value here on the slate? Save us some cash.
All right, well, I'm going to give you a one each at forward, defense, and in goal. First off, the Maple Leafs may have really found something in Michael Bunting. He's got a couple of goals already and really showing a consistent knack for getting to the net, making the most of playing time with Nylander and Tavares. He should see plenty of scoring chances again tonight, and it'll only cost you $4,100. On the blue line, I like Matt Grzelcyk and view him as the B's second best scoring option on the blue line. He'll play around 20 minutes, including some power play time as well, which should provide ample opportunity to find the score sheet tonight. It doesn't matter who Buffalo's playing, AJ, and the Nets. Boston's going to roll them tonight. Grzelcyk only costs $3,400. It's not often that I will see a top goalie option available for only $7,400 either, guys. So I'm going to be using Cal Peterson of the Kings against the punchless Stars offense. Using these guys will get me the chance to load up on offense elsewhere.
AJ, you agree with that?
I'll look at some other options here. First, I'll start by reminding everybody at home to use Buffalo's Victor Olofsson at $4,400 tonight. I'm not moving off of him until he's over 5K on DraftKings here. So you can expect that take to continue for the time being. Outside of that, I do think grabbing Kailer Yamamoto tonight for $2,500, huge discounted price. And it looks like the Oilers are set to split up McDavid and Draisaitl for the first time this season. And that means Yamamoto is going to play on the second line with Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins moving over to the wing. And I actually like that assignment playing with those two guys better than, say, like a Jesse Puljujarvi, and he's significantly cheaper there too. So Yamamoto is almost a must in my opinion for this one.